Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are doing a video on Mercury Retrograde in Libra from September 27th to October 17th. So buckle up. I'm going to talk about, I'm going to talk about what this retrograde is going to be about. And then at the end, I'm going to pull 3 cards for each week to kind of give us a little idea of what is to be expected, and just get ourselves prepared. Allow this time of reflection and resetting to not really come as a surprise, but something that we can prepare for. It's going to be super important, this retrograde, to, really just ride the wave of it, as well as, being a conscious observer of what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, and what's going on. It's going to take all of these tools that we've learned throughout the year, in gaining our confidence and gaining our voice and being ourselves and learning how to balance back into the present moment. You're really going to test all of those. So I hope you have your tool belts on. It is going to be an intense one. Mercury is the 5th planet to join Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto in retrograde. And so this time specifically is going to start feeling super intense, like really pushing on a lot of things. Mercury really comes, anytime it's in retrograde, it comes to be a force to reckon with. It's the planet of communication, passions, desires, and action. It's, ruled by Aries, and it is just, it's that. So when it's going retrograde, it looks like it's going backwards to us, and it kind of slows down all of those areas. So during retrograde, it's not really a great time to sign contracts or make big purchases. Don't start new projects or a new job unless, you are specifically feeling the guide to. But if you just get this random feeling and you're like, oh, this is the time, don't do it. I'm going to pause, wait until this retrograde is over, and then make that jump in the decision. A lot of the times during this time, we can be a little lost in illusions or fears that it's bringing up for us to understand, but after we come out of retrograde, typically our thoughts and feelings on things change. So just be careful of that. I wanted to talk about how, with it being in Libra, it's going to elevate our external circumstances to match our internal vision, finally, right? And it's kind of pinpoint any areas, or not pinpoint, but really highlight any areas that we are feeling to be chaotic or not really aligned with us and what we have going on. And it's going to really push on our relationships, on our schedules and our plans. So if you have travel going on, if you have a really jam-packed schedule, you can just kind of right now expect that things are not going to go as planned. People are going to come late. Clients are not going to arrive on time. Planes are going to be delayed. When you're driving, there will be traffic. Expect it. It's also going to challenge us to look at how we view our home, how we view our clothes, and what that means to us in terms of what that says about us. Are we wearing things? And it's because we're in Libra, right? So when we're talking about Libra is all about beauty. It's all about balance. It's all about peace and finding the harmony. So the way we dress, are we dressing in clothes, which sounds silly, but are we dressing in clothes that feel like us? Like when we put it on, we're like, yes, this is me. This is my outfit. So like for me today, I have my Mercury Retrograde shirt on, and just kind of in, stepping into this energy of what it is. And it's also going to have us examine how we view our lovers, our partners, and what that maybe say about us. Are we with people in our life that are aligned with us? Do they speak to our values? Do they speak to our morals? Do we have the same goals in life? Are we hoping to achieve the same things, or are we in, just relationships that are cycles that don't serve? So if any of those things are a little out of whack and you can kind of already feel it, definitely these past couple weeks in these shadow periods, you will feel extra tension in those areas. And it's not to scare you, but to remember to be a conscious observer of what is going on. So it's almost like we are like watching a movie of things playing out, even though that we are actually living it. So just be, again, conscious of that. What else? everything will kind of just seem to halt during this time. But once we go direct, most of those other planets, going direct is like, it's going forward again. On the 17th, most of the other planets will also be direct as well. So it is like full steam ahead. And this is a time where kind of like we can no longer escape the inevitable. And it's, really pushing us. What are we willing to let go? What are we ready to let go of? Because now is the time to let go of it. And I really do love this as we have just entered in, autumn, fall, spooky season. And that's all about what fall is, letting go of what, has already bloomed. So you can build and plant new things and respect the harvest and be so appreciative and grateful for all those things. But now, what are the things that are holding us back that we can no longer put off anymore, escape from? It's time. It is time for us to fully embark on what we, are supposed to be doing. This is Mercury directly affects our personal space, our personal, environment. That's why we're talking like, you can also see it in like rent not go, like having, like if you have rent, like things not coming on time, maybe your landlord doesn't get it, or they have it but they don't see it, just like little things like that. But when we go full ahead, when we go full steam forward after we come out of this, we're coming out of it with a fresh perspective. This is a time to realign, reorganize, reharmonize your space, your personal sphere, as the outer planets are affecting us globally. That's where we're going to see. That's why we are seeing so much unrest and change and uproar. It's really causing this transformation in places that just need a nudge, that have been stuck stagnant for too long. So this focus brings us clarity. It's going to bring us efficiency and authority for ourselves when we get out of this, so that we can better lead a life that's, again, aligned with our authentic purpose. And then before I go and start pulling some cards, astrologically, I just want to talk about a little bit break down the weeks and what they have coming for us. So the first week is kind of going to be a lot of knockouts. This Mercury retrograde is not going to be a light one, and it comes with big knockouts right in the beginning, kind of forcing us to pause, because during these times I think we get so frantic about it because we don't want to have to take that time to reflect. And this energy is kind of like you have to pause, you have to rest, you have to think about what's going on and really seriously think about the plans you have going on in your life, and causes you to find balance. Again, when I was saying practicing those tools or using those tools that we put in our tool belt, what is going to ground you in your peace and presence as these things come up and try to knock you out. This is also going to be focusing on our routines. How can we change up our routine during this time to implement more balance, to implement more peace, to bring more space, and prepare us to go deep. Again, prepare us to consciously observe what is going on during this time. And we can stay in that space of peace to find the answers that we've been looking for. So if you're feeling stagnant in your work, you're feeling stagnant again in your relationships, maybe even the relationship with yourself, you were doing really great, but now you're in this place of like, I don't know, just disconnected. It's kind of aiding in this disconnection for us to find those answers that we've been looking for. The second week is kind of going to be that week of confrontation. That last one was, again, preparing us to go deep. So now this week, we're confronting everything that's going on, whether that's, who or what stands in the way of your perfection and your freedom, because it's kind of what Libras are about. What Libra is about, finding this like state of perfection for yourself. So what is standing in the way of that? And I'm going to use caution on the word perfection because we'll never be perfect, but I will say like your vision of who you are, who and what stands in the way of that. Is it you? Is it other people? Is it your circumstances? How can we change the external to match our internal vision? So this is going to be rehashing your commitments. Again, your relationships and your projects. So how can you center your focus back on efficiency and how to make those areas, just stronger and suit you more and be more authentic in the energy that you're bringing to the table. And then, But to help with some of that, you're going to want to find activities that help you release. So, and this is like releasing in an individual level, because Mercury retrograde can, kind of hits everybody harder in their own ways. So activities that help release, like reorganizing the house, cleaning up, cleaning your space, bringing fresh air in, and just, revamping it in a way that makes you feel good. Again, that brings this beauty in this space around, because that's what Libras are all about. Workout routine, like playing tennis by yourself, something that's individual to you, that you can release this energy. Not that you're playing off of energy with somebody else or bouncing off back and forth, but you need to release it for you. Don't be afraid to take time by yourself. Feel a little bit like a hermit while you're going through this. This is going to be individual accomplishments that, gives you the confidence to keep moving forward. Because like I said, it's a big Mercury retrograde. It's going to feel like a halt. It's going to feel like everything just got turned up 10 more notches. But if we're prepared and we're ready for it as it's coming, it's not going to be as big of a shock. It's not going to, completely derail us, and we can use our tools that are in our tool belt to get us through this. And so then our last week comes, and it's like a face-off with the Sun and Pluto. Most of the other planets have gone direct by this point, but the Sun is our life force energy, and Pluto being our underworld, being the ego, being the stuff that needs to be transformed, the hard lessons that you came here as a soul and a spirit to work on, to transform and get you better. So that is the core wound of what is being triggered. So the big emphasis, or not to say the big emphasis, but the big answer to these questions that you've been having, you will find it in this last week. That after we have gone deep, these lessons have come to show us the way, and we can finally decide, what you need to part with, for a new start. Because like I said, it's an inevitable change that can no longer be delayed, because our purpose and our paths are enough, and who we are is ready for us to fully step in it. 2022 is a very bright year, and all of these things, for it to be as bright and filled with a lot of good, we have to kind of get back down. We have to dig down deep in there. I was going to say, and again, what are you ready to move on from? So as I finish that up, I just had some notes I written down for that. Finish it up, I'm going to get into the cards, but it's really this, if we can center ourselves and ground down in our peace and our presence, and put balance and space at the top of our list, and keep and make sure you set sound boundaries for yourself during this time, we can really progress and move forward, and it can really be an inspirational and transformative time for us. We just have to be willing to allow it to do, its job. It's coming for all of the good. It's coming for all the good things. So don't allow it to make you overwhelmed when things happen or you're stuck in traffic. Just kind of like, okay, Mercury retrograde, and here I am. Laugh it off a little bit. It's a big one. So I don't want us, getting caught up in some of the little silly things. Or we can redirect that energy elsewhere. We've grown, we're bigger than that. I think about this a lot. When you're going through something, or you're having an emotional response, just the first thing your amygdala processes is fear and anger. So if your first reaction to a circumstance, to a situation, to a person, to a relationship, to something that's not going right in your life is fear or anger, that you're only at the first step of processing that. And love comes all the way at the end. And that sounds a little wooey, but if you can move yourself through those emotions, through the hurt, through the pain, and find, maybe balance, maybe just, a neutral level, and then move into, gratitude and happiness and joy and love, that I feel like that's a big thing that Mercury retrograde is helping us with, understanding and helping us come around to this compassion for ourselves and our relationships and our projects, which is very fitting for it being in Libra, honestly. Okay, the first week is ready for us. I'm gonna lay them all out and then yes. Okay, so for this first week of Mercury retrograde, we have the Three of Swords in reverse, the Page of Cups in reverse, and the Five of Wands in reverse. And that's kind of like very much everything gets turned upside down. I love, though, having the Three of Swords here in the beginning, because this Three of Swords is about just releasing this heartbreak, is taking these ideas and these thoughts and, you know, the old ways of communicating that really hurt us, that really stabbed us in the heart, and, put a, what's the word I'm looking for? Put a pin on things and made us close off, made us, stop being vulnerable, and allowed our fears and our anxieties about, being loving and expressing love and sharing love to kind of hide away. And I love that this Three of Swords is this energy that's starting the beginning, because it's a reminder that what we go through this Mercury retrograde is really going to help us do this. Take these swords out of our hearts, open our hearts up again to love in multiple different ways. Love in romantic sense with partners, but love for others and being connected to everybody, your neighbor, your family, your siblings, your cousins, your clients, people you see out and about, strangers, just having this love for everyone, understanding that we all are going through our own things and our own problems, but we're all here together. We're all experiencing all of this together, and to, find this unity within each other again. We're so divided right now that Mercury retrograde is coming to kind of help us unify this again and change the way that we look at the relationships that we're having with everybody around us. We have the Page and Cups in reverse here, and kind of just dumping out all of our feelings on the ground. Literally is just taking our cup and just being like, ah, like crying, like very emotional. Page is the first card of the court, and when he's like this, he doesn't know anything really about his emotions and how to use them, how to process them, what's going on. And he's ready, though. He's excited to learn. It's going to be a slow process because water moves slow, so slow and steady wins the race. And again, like I said in the beginning, just go with the flow of what is happening and what's going on. But it's like we said, big knockouts in this first week of Mercury retrograde. So be ready to feel like the cup that was full of wonder and full of excitement, and all these things that we're building in the last couple months feels like everything just gets thrown out on the ground, and we don't know how to process our emotions, and we're not exactly excited about learning how to do that, learning and using our tools that we've used, using our meditation, going and working out, yoga, journaling. We feel a lot of tension in those areas, and we're not really excited about doing it. So what this card is telling me is make sure you write in, schedule out extra time to do those things. Make sure that you have space and time in your schedule. Do not overwork yourself, overbook yourself, and expect everything to be going perfectly as planned. It will not do that. Mercury retrograde will slap you in the face, I promise you. So this is a warning to do that. Do not allow yourself, but you have to set yourself up for success. And so don't set yourself up for failure during this, as we're going through a hard time to, put so much on your plate and expect you to perform at just in a way that is just not possible. You give yourself the grace. that you give others and the time that you give others. Give that to yourself. You're the most important. All right, and then we have the Five of Wands in reverse. And usually when it's upright like this, it's just like boys playing in the yard, testing our strengths. You know, they're fighting, but it's not like, it's like trivial conflict that comes to, you know, spark strength and growth and to show you how far that you've come and to show you your strength and that you have talents too, right? But when we're in reverse like this, we're not really feeling that. And there might be some conflicts that arise that are trivial, that are here to, you know, show us our strengths and to provide us courage. But for some reason, because we are overwhelmed by all of our emotions that are being brought up, all of our dreams that just seem unattainable at the moment, we're taking these trivial things and we're making them a little serious. We're taking them too far. So this is, again, a caution and a warning to really be that conscious observer, really push yourself, find the balance, and give yourself love. Provide yourself the love to not get swept away in these little conflicts that come up, these little strengths, tests of strength. Five is the number of freedom. So really to set yourself free during this time and this week is giving yourself that space and not engaging in the arguments, not engaging in the fights, not engaging in the conflict and the things that are coming up. Because when you do that, or, you know, if you choose to do that, you're going to find yourself in a little bit of hurt and a little bit of pain. And we could just, you know, we're stronger than that. So just be patient. Be mindful that these things are going to come up. Don't be scared. Don't be worried. Don't be nervous. We don't need to talk about these now. I pulled crystals out. I always pull crystals out before I pull cards and just see what is being drawn to me. I always have my selenite and my black tourmaline. And then I was pulled to pull rose quartz, which when we're talking about Mercury retrograde in Libra, this is love and, you know, balance and peace and feeling the love and giving ourselves the beauty and the grace. So that is 100% aligned. I always love it, especially like right now during this time, we needed extra love. We needed a little extra energy of love to push us through this. I also have my rainbow moonstone. This is about, you know, getting in touch with your spirituality or your, you know, your psychic abilities related to cancers and nurturing. And I just love this one. It has a lot of weight and I just felt like it's a good one that's going to help me ground during this time. And then I also have fluoride, which that's balance. So I love that. I feel like all of those are speaking to me in those cards, and just find your balance. Don't allow yourself to get swept away in the emotions and the chaos that's going to come from this week. It's just going to come and we're just going to plan for it. All right. Second week of Mercury retrograde. Let me actually get a date for you on that. The first week is going to be the 27th to the 3rd. The second week being October 4th to October 11th. And then the third week being October 11th to October 17th. So I'm talking about the 11th to, or the 4th to the 10th now, sorry. You know, bad dates. And for here we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and the Lovers. And when I was talking about the second week earlier, we talked about how it was really going to, you know, bring up confrontation and challenge us to look at the way that we view our relationships and our projects, and who and what is standing in the way of our, you know, of us achieving this idea of perfection we have for ourselves, or better, I feel like achieving this internal vision that we have for ourselves and our life. And so we have Nine of Pentacles in reverse here at the beginning, and this is just, you know, when she's upright, you know, she's coming home after a long day of hard work, after, you know, having patience for herself, trusting her intuition and allowing that to be a guide, trusting the, you know, the vision that she has inside of her and allowing that to be what builds this abundance and to build this prosperity. And she comes home and she's super grateful. And today, because of all this confrontation and all this chaos is being brought up, we're feeling a little depleted. We're feeling a little impatient. We're feeling like we can't really see the success, and we're understanding, you know, kind of what's standing in our way. And some of it's our mindset, because we only have one person standing here. So we are talking about ourselves and the relationship that we see it. And so maybe today for some of us, it's us that's standing in the way. It's our beliefs of what we can achieve. It's our judgments and our shame and our guilt on ourselves for stuff that we've done in the past or things that haven't done. It's, you know, us being ashamed of the failures or the mistakes that we've had. But, you know, take a step back and observe that and understand that that is, you know, that's fearful thoughts and fearful behavior, and to understand that, yes, you may have failed and made mistakes, but now look at you, you're so much stronger and you have knowledge and experience from making a mistake or making a bad decision or whatever the case may be. You've learned from that and you have experience to speak from, and you have understanding and guidance that you learned from this. So during this time, take it really easy on yourself. Truly, breathe deeply and center back into this peace, because it's really going to cause us to feel so unbalanced and like the scales are all out of whack. But again, ground, because we can turn this Knight of Pentacles upside. We can turn it right back over and be right back in our grace and be right back in our gratitude, okay? But know that we're going to feel like this, like our success isn't coming, like what we're doing isn't really building, and, you know, we're not happy with whatever it is that we're making in our lives. Because then we also have the Knight of Pentacles Pentacles in reverse here. And when he's upright, he is, you know, he's kind of waiting for his opportunity. He is the knight, so he is graduated from being a page, and now he can go out and fight for the court and, you know, his kingdom, what he loves. And he's so excited to, you know, provide for the king and the queen, except, you know, he's holding his power and he's holding it in his hand, and he's so, you know, so excited about it, but he doesn't know what to do. Because he doesn't want to make the wrong decision, he doesn't want to make the wrong move, and he's just kind of sitting and waiting, just kind of stuck in this stagnant place. Because we talk about knights, we're talking about extreme. So extreme in overacting or extreme in not acting enough. And with the Knight in Pentacles here, he's in reverse, so he's kind of extreme in his ideas of how he's going to make himself feel better. And we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, and then the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, and it's almost like, okay, we're feeling stuck, we're feeling stagnant, we're feeling like, you know, things aren't happening, and we need to come up with a new plan because this is uncomfortable and we don't know how to sit in this space, that we decided that even though we don't know, we're just going to run after it. We're going to go forward. We're going to make these things. But when we're thinking about Mercury retrograde, we do not start new projects, do not sign new contracts, do not start a new job. Slow down and, you know, hold this idea until the end of next week, please, I promise. And then we have the Lovers here at the end. So it's so crazy. It's just exactly what this week is talking about. It's going to take a look at our relationships and how we can bring that balance into them. And, you know, am I standing in the way of, you know, our relationship prospering, or even the relationship with myself? Or is my partner standing in the way of my relationship with myself and my success? Are they aligned? Again, those are the thoughts that we're going to be going through during this week. But know that in each of these pictures, or even this one, that there is a guidance and an angel and your guides around you, protecting you and supporting you. So even though we're going through this, there is a beautiful relationship that's blooming, that understands that there is still this mountain to climb, and there are all these things that we're going through during this week. But because you're together and you're on each other's sides and you have the same values and you're ready to support each other, you can make it. You can make it through. So make sure you're communicating with your partner during this time, letting them know if there's anything coming up that you're struggling with, that, you know, maybe you're a little moody and you can feel it, and just have that open communication with them, because you're really going to help each other through this time, understanding what each other's going through, because you're going through your own thing, but they are also going through their Mercury retrograde at the same time, and there is going to be stuff being brought up for them. So if you can open this communication and find the peace and balance in your relationship, and at least know that in your relationship there's safety and security, while we're maybe feeling a little bit on survival, you're really going to find a lot of strength from that. And then going into the last week of Mercury retrograde, October 11th to October 17th, we have the Magician, the Hangman, and the Two of Cups. So again, this push on relationship, we have the Lovers, and then there's like baby lovers. that being lovers being a lesson that we're learning. We're talking about major arcana cards. They're talking about lessons going on. So there's big lessons coming in our relationships. Then we have Magician and the Hanged Man. Big lessons coming on how we are creating the life that we want to live, right? So this is face off with the sun. This is literally sun and like Pluto, because Pluto's going to help you change your perspective and find your light again and find that answer that you've been looking for to everything that's been going on. And when you it's like a light bulb that's going off, right? And you come out of this Mercury retrograde ready as a force to be reckoned with, stronger than we were before, right? So this is deciding, what you need to let go of, and you're letting go of it. And when you let go of it, oh my God, you're like poof, create and manifest all of these things in your life. And it's because we have this time of reflection and rest and kind of restoration of ourselves that we can, have those things, and those things can kind of come into our life because we have to create space. Physical, imaginative, mental space, we have to create it. So I know rearranging our homes is a good time, getting rid of things, going through your closet, start with those things, then work on your finances tomorrow. And then when we come out of Mercury retrograde, we can literally take over the world after, but we have to start slow, do little things. Can't take over the world right now. We have to find the answer on how we're going to take over the world first, right? So this is inevitable. This is the perspective that we need to change, and that's going to happen here with the Hangman. Hangman took this, the story behind him is that, he needed time away from people to kind of, he didn't do something right, or maybe he made a mistake, or he's just looking at life weird. And he put himself out, had to be upside down to change the way he's seeing things. And we have to allow our light to bring us back up again. So we're going to feel down. We're going to feel upside down, right? We're knocked out here. We got the Page of Cups upside down. All these reversals this week, but it's helping us to find that light, to find that guidance, and to be what brings us forward. And when we do that, we strengthen the relationships all around us, with ourselves, in our business, with our, and with our partners, and with our family. And this is like coming together, healing and filling your own cup so you can come together with everybody else around you as now their cups are full because they took the time to go in and learn and reflect and take advantage of what is coming up, that we can be stronger, that we can heal, one, as individuals, but two, globally in humanity, because we're all going through this together. This time that we're experiencing, this is all going to helping us understand that we're all going through this together. We all live here together. We all, eat, sleep, wake up, do our jobs, and live this life together on this earth. Together. I'm sorry, I keep saying that together, but it's like we understand, in such a grander scale how all these things work together, and how we have to start, living a life that's loving each other and loving the earth and loving what's going on. And that's going to be what helps us sustain our life and move on and progress forward. And, progress forward, I'm going to say it, in love, because we're in Libra season. So that wouldn't be what it's got to be what it's all about, is the love and finding balance and finding harmony and just coming down and resting back in that. So what do we got here at the bottom? Oh, I love it. We have the Fool, the King of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the Three of Wands. So, and what's under, oh my God, and the Four of Wands. Yeah, it's literally like full steam ahead after we come out of this Mercury retrograde. We're creating our dreams. We're living in our abundance. We're walking towards everything we've ever wanted. And it's literally like we are a force to be reckoned with on this new beginning that we are allowing ourselves to go on. So again, be conscious in your awareness, in your awareness of what's going on. Do not, allow yourself to be swept up in the emotions. And if you are, give yourself the grace to be human. Take a nap, go on a walk, exercise, change up the energy that's inside of you, because we got to release it. I love you guys. You're going to do great during this Mercury retrograde. Just remember, don't sign any contracts, make any big purchases, be nice to people in traffic. It's going to happen. We're going to be late. People aren't going to show up on time. If we, also do not send any risky text messages to any exes. Y'all, we love to do that because we reflect and we're like, oh, wow. And we get all into our emotions during this time. Save yourself the time and energy. Don't do it, because when you come out of Mercury retrograde, you're not going to be wanting them anymore. I can promise you that. And also, yeah, don't put yourself in situations where you know a misunderstanding is going to happen. Just don't do it. You know better, okay? That's where I'm going to leave it. I love you guys, and you're gonna kick this Mercury retrograde's ass. I already know it. So I will see you in my daily tarot readings. I hope you have a great Mercury retrograde. Right? I love you.